Hey there, everyone. Very exciting to be looking at a spring wood fire class and a very special wood fire class, which we help make highlight by making it really hard to find in the catalog because it's called Art Studio Concepts. This is a very unique category that I wrote up some years ago and have never had an opportunity until now to teach. And that is Art Studio Concepts is an opportunity to focus in on something a little bit more unique, a little bit deeper, a deeper dive into any topic. And in this case, the topic is wood-fired ceramics. And I'll tell you more about what we're going to be doing with that. The basic concept is I'm going to try to bring in at least 2 guest artists to talk to us about their unique vision and their approach to wood fire, and to do some demonstration of techniques. The person that I've talked to that seems very positive, if COVID allows, is a fellow named Marcus Bohm, B-O-H-M, M-A-R-K-U-S, B-O-H-M, from Germany. And you might look him up online and see what his work looks like. And I'm very much hoping to have Marcus in early March to demonstrate and then to be with us during a wood firing. That's my plan, and I really look forward to this opportunity. And then I'm hoping to get some other wood fire hero in towards the end of the semester as well. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Many of you, because this is a new number, a new kind of class category, many of you have had wood fire before and can once again take it, which is so important. And so you may have experience, and so you'll be coming in and learning more about wood firing that way. Some of you may be new to it, and we welcome that as well. What is wood firing? Well, there's lots of different ways to explain it, but I think the best way is to look at it, though maybe not on video. Perhaps video is not the easiest way to understand it. In person is better. This is a Japanese style tea-bowl, and I wanted to start with this because I have 3 tea-bowls here to show you, and they were exactly treated the same way. They started with a little bit of white slip and then some shino, and then they were put in the kiln. What's interesting is this was put in the kiln a little bit towards the front of the kiln, and this was put a little bit further back, and so you get a whole different quality of the firing. Even though they are literally treated the same way, your results are quite different. And what's interesting to compare is, say you compare something like this to something like this, which is the exact same treatment, the exact same thing, but this one, whoa, I don't want to drop that. This one is straight ahead gas fired to cone 10. This is what it would look like if there were no wood ash involved, because there is none. This is just the gas firing. And this is the same exact clay slip and glaze in a wood fire. And so you can see that kind of helps describe what's happening with a wood fire. A wood fire, we work to bring the kiln, just putting wood in the kiln, we bring the kiln up to temperatures of about 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit. And at those temperatures, the ash in the wood floats through the kiln, as well as some of the minerals in the ash turn to gas. So you have calcium, potassium, sodium. All of those are fluxes which turn silica to glass, and clay is made out of silica. So what you have is you have these fluxes floating through the kiln at very high temperatures, hitting the clay and giving you colors and textures that are unavailable any other way. And that's really a big part of what this process is. Wood firing is an investment in time, and you get these amazing results, and you get them by working very hard for them. And it makes it really a very big component of being an artist in the 21st century, because we have a choice to make. There are so many ways to fire. You can fire with electric, you can fire with gas, and you can fire with wood. And we choose to fire with wood, even though much of our lives is facilitated by having something like this. This is a phone. And with this phone, I can, I can order anything and have it to my house tomorrow. I can call my brother right now. We can have a little conversation with my brother in Tokyo. All of the world is at our hands immediately. And yet with wood fire, it may take us up to a month to split the wood that we need for the firing. And then it takes us 3 days, 24 hours a day to fire, takes 3 days to 5 days to cool, and then unloading and cleaning and getting ready for the next firing. There's so much labor involved, and it's kind of counter the way we usually work in the world, the way we usually move through our world with so many conveniences and technology. But the beauty of the pieces, you can see some pieces behind me here. There's a sculpture, there's a couple of pots. The beauty of these wood-fired objects is so remarkable that we are willing to put in the time to create these kinds of surfaces and effects. You can see here, this is a pot that is an imitation, a copy of an Iranian pot that is about 1,000 years old in its design. And so there was no glaze on this piece at all, and all of the color and texture was created by the wood fire. And there's all kinds of possibilities. As I say, sculpture. I'll move the camera here a little bit. You can see this guy here. Here's a little lidded pot there with a head on it. And then behind here, you see a sculpture of mine of a figure that you can see kind of going there, all wood-fired ceramics. And I don't know if you can see out in the yard there's lots of sculpture. Most of it is wood-fired. So there's all kinds of things that we can make with wood-fired ceramics. And let me see if I can get us back on track here. So that's a little bit of a looking at what wood fire is, and this idea that we're willing to work hard for a remarkable experience. So, and that there's this word that's really helpful to understand wood fire. It's called Johan, and Johan means changed by fire, and it's a reference to all these possible effects that you can get in the kiln. And there's lots of effects that are from the flame. There's lots of effects that are from the ash, and we'll be reading about these, learning about them, experiencing them in the kiln. All of these things we'll find. They have names that we'll learn about in these effects. So these are wood fire effects, and so Johan is changed by fire. It talks about wood fire effects, and here's a little tiny house, hangs on the wall, kind of fun, little porcelain house. But there's a different kind of change by fire, which is the fact that the fire goes into the kiln, but we maintain it. And in maintaining it, our work together changes us. So we're also changed by the fire. Not only is the clay changed by the fire, but we ourselves, through the personal experience of fire, get changed by the fire. And what that means is that we as a community of working together really are unique. Every class is so different because each class is made up of different people, and what we bring to it and who we are determines the experience of the class. It's there's this concept of Gestalt, which translates out roughly that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. When we all come together and add our efforts together, we create something that's larger than all of us. And so that's one way of looking at it. The Japanese tea ceremony has a principle called Ichigo Ichie, which means this moment, perfect moment. This firing, unlike any other firing. This experience that we create together is once in a lifetime. This is what it is. And I've fired many, many years with many, many different groups, and each one has its own specific qualities and wonders. So I'm really looking forward to having this experience with you. We will be working in this strange time that we have. We're living in a time of COVID. We have a global pandemic. I don't know if you've heard, which means that we will be practicing safety. Safety is our top priority. So what that means is, hopefully the school has a mandate for you to be vaccinated, or you can get tested twice a week. Now, we only meet once a week on Fridays. What that would mean, if you're vaccinated, you registered that at the beginning of the semester and you're good for the semester, no worries, no hassles. If for some reason, and there is a legitimate reason that you might not be vaccinated, though it's very dangerous for you, and I'm sorry for you if you can't be vaccinated, that's a medical, if it's challenging to your health to get vaccinated, then you can't do it. And there's some people who have a certain makeup that doesn't allow them to be vaccinated, allergies, I think. But so if that's your case, then you need to be tested and prove negative before every Friday class, and you have to show me that before you can come into class. So if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. It's unprecedented times, and we are going to work together to keep everyone safe. What that means is we will be wearing masks in the class, and that's the full, we're wearing masks. So it's covering the nose and the mouth. I don't know. I've just recently been traveling, and this is very popular, the nose out for some reason. People think that is, and rarely, but occasionally you see the people styling with the chin mask, and we won't be doing that. It'll be nose and mouth covered with a mask. So we will be wearing masks, and we will be practicing social distancing, which for us means there's so much preparation involved in woodfire. I like to split the class in half. Half will be able to go work in the studio for the first half of the class. Everybody gets 3 hours in the studio. So there'll be a group the first 3 hours of class and a group the last 3 hours of class. And that'll keep the numbers down in the studio inside. So that'll be safer. And we'll practice social distancing. Sadly, less hugging this semester. So that's kind of one of the ways that we'll be dealing with staying safe. So we will be practicing all of these things. And do expect me to comment if your mask slips down below your nose, and I'll just mention, I'll pop it up, get it up there again. If you forget a mask, which I have done, we have a few at the classroom. We can give you one. So those are what we're doing. That's what's happening for the class. It's going to be a fantastic experience. You're going to make beautiful things, and you're going to have things wood-fired and that you'll cherish, and you'll have experiences that we will all cherish together. Can't wait to be working with you. So I really look forward to this most remarkable semester that we have ahead of us. So stay safe and make lots of art.